This is David with High Performance Stoicism. I want to talk to you about why you make foolish decisions. We all do from time to time. And since the Stoics give an excellent explanation of why we make them, it's worth digging into. Let's start off with a quote from Seneca. He says, "The reason we make mistakes is because we all consider the parts of life, but never life as a whole." Let's add a couple points to the story so we can understand what he means by this and how it applies to foolish decisions. The Stoics believe that the perspective we have in a given situation will determine how we feel and how we act in that situation. And if someone has too partial a perspective, what that means is they're likely to do something foolish. Let's talk about what we mean by their perspective is too partial. They're focused largely on one thing, and that one thing is immediate, and they're not thinking of anything outside of that situation for the most part. Let's give some illustrations so that we can flesh this idea out. Think about something that you are tempted by, like a great chocolate cupcake. When you're in a situation and you are tempted by the cupcake, what is your perspective? So you can see the thing, and if your perspective is very partial, all you can see is how delicious it looks, what that taste will be like, what it will be like to chew it and swallow it. Then guess what? You're likely to go against your diet or against your rule not to eat treats during the week because you want to be healthier. Now, recognize there are some things in that situation you didn't consider. You didn't consider, I'm on this quest to be a healthier person. Sugar is bad for me. I don't want to gain weight. I don't want to get diabetes. So you could see someone who just looks at the part of the situation, the experience of enjoying this delicious thing, they're the one who is more likely to make a foolish choice. Whereas the person who sees other parts of what's involved, other parts of what's pertinent to their choice, such as, I made a commitment to be healthy, it's a new year, right? And there are other things such as, I want to get slim. And plus, sugar's really bad for me. That person who sees more of the whole of the situation is going to make a better choice. And you can apply this to any kind of situation. So let's briefly talk about a couple other situations that people have to deal with. Think of the example that's quite common, the man who's away on a business trip and it's a conference, they're having some drinks afterward, and there's a gorgeous woman who's also at the conference, and you can see where this is going. So if he has the partial perspective of, well, this is really exciting, this person's attracted to me, I'm attracted to her, and they're imagining what it's going to be like to have sex, then that's a partial, and in terms of time and in terms of matters, issues, concerns, a partial perspective, that person's going to be more likely to say cheat on their wife than someone who thinks about, okay, well, I'm probably going to be guilty about this. I do have a wife at home. Divorce is going to cost me half of my salary, and then I'm going to have to have a custody battle and so on. That person will more likely say, I'm going to sit this one out. I'm not going to carry through with it because they see more of the picture. Now, here's an area that I think applies to most people, probably you, when it comes to what you do day by day. And this applies to personal development in general and to one form of personal development, Stoicism in particular. You think the way you are living your life is something that is not totally satisfactory to you, but what are you missing in the picture? You're missing that you have reason. You're missing that you can do much more. You are missing that one thing you have inside you is courage. It just requires taking different actions, more challenging actions, in order to bring courage to its full form within you. And that's why people don't make progress. One reason you're interested in Stoicism, one reason to practice Stoicism is that you start to see more and more what is true of you as a human being. You are meant for much more. So now, let's say you have your average day and you keep some of your commitments, but then you don't eat right. You do some things that are rational, but then you get distracted by playing around with your phone. So you've made some progress, but why do you keep making foolish decisions with regard to your own goals, right? We're keeping that, that's in the back of the discussion here. It's because you don't have the larger perspective, what you could be doing with this day. You could be eating much healthier. You could be living a life that's distraction free. And you could be doing more of the work you need to get the results you want. So I hope these different cases help to show you that in each one of these situations where there's a tempting treat, there's a tempting other kind of treat, right? Sex with another human. And there's also, well, I'm not seeing the full perspective on what I am made to do. Whereas the Stoics say, you were made to be courageous, you were made to be temperate, you were made to be prudent and just. You just have to see what kind of being you really are, a more noble being. And then if you start to take on that perspective, then you will be more inclined to do the things you know you need to do in order to become a better, wiser, and stronger person. So that's it for this talk. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you in the next video.